Hello? Is there anyone here to talk to me? Are there any spirits? Can someone show me a sign? They're strange looking. I wonder what the coins are for. No signs. Huh. What do we have here? What did you do to get stuck in here? Welcome to my humble abode, the only place that Annabelle knows as home. Okay, so for some of you guys who may not be familiar with the Annabelle franchise wonderfulness, I'll just give you a quick summary on basically what the film is actually about. Annabelle Comes Home. She basically comes home. Basically, their focus is Judy Warren, the lovely little girl who is the daughter of Lorraine and Ed. She has to deal with the tribulations of how her world and how her parents, how she is actually perceived by her peers, by society, and it's mostly because her parents have now become much, big timers in regards to this supernatural world, and this is about her night at home away from her parents. It's like the worst night without your parents. You're like, I really want my mom, and that was probably what Judy would have been praying for that entire night. So everything starts up because she's actually spending the entire day and the night with her babysitter Mary, my favorite character, period. Just saying. Because of Mary, Bob, who's got balls, and if you saw the film, you'll get it. And then there's Daniella. That is your main cast, and that is your biggest focus for the film, because one character just messes it up for everyone for the whole night and actually releases Annabelle and a whole lot more mess. So let's go over the things that I think is actually really important. Alright, so let's get a little bit more comfortable. So this entire shenanigan night starts off with, I think, the most important character. She's not my favorite because Mary is, but the most important character because she is the catalyst of everything that triggers off in this world. So Daniella, she's a young girl who's unfortunately going through this time where she has lost someone, which I'm pretty sure is pretty evident in the film. She's lost someone, so because she sees Judy's parents in the newspapers, she realizes, well, they can see the dead. Let me reach out. So instead of just being blunt and being, straight to the point about everything, she finds out that her close friend Mary happens to be the babysitter of Judy, who's going to be in this house by herself without the parents. So she takes it upon herself to go out on an adventure, and she wants to find out if there are any spirits, if she has a way of contacting, the other world, which everyone at some point has some kind of fascination for, right? Now, her reason for searching the spirit world, whether you're a skeptic, whether you believe, it doesn't matter. Her actual reason is actually very heavy. It's heavy on the soul. So, I don't want to give that part away, but once you understand why she's searching for spirits and why she's reaching for the other world, you start to feel a little sympathetic. And I do think that the actress did a wonderful job at portraying this craving to find out if there is life after death. And the way she goes about it, her personal choices, as an actress, she did a great job, because after the film, people were complaining. Like, she's a horrible friend. I don't like her. Like, people were complaining. People were upset with you. Good job. So, she's the catalyst. So, what she ends up doing is in order to activate Annabelle and activate the spirits of the house, she shows up at the Warrens' house, knowing full well that they're not going to be home, that it's going to be Judy and Mary, and she trusts her friend to let her in. Now, Mary doesn't answer the door fast enough, so she sneaks herself into the house through the back door. Once they realize she's there, she provides a birthday gift for Judy because she knows it's her birthday. And she gets her the most convenient birthday gift ever. Roller skates. She's trying to get these people out of the house. So before she leaves, Mary tells her, do not touch anything. Don't touch a thing. And she's all like, I'll promise. And she doesn't. She does not keep her promise. And what ends up happening is, as soon as they go outside, she starts rummaging to look for the keys, right? And she's like, are there any spirits here? I command the spirits to open the doors. She's doing everything to get into this room. And then she gets her wish, right? So as she's walking through there, the film foreshadows everything that's going to happen. Everything. The things that she touches, perhaps some coins. She just doesn't quite understand exactly what's gonna, like, what she's supposed to, like, anticipate from this world, right? And she gets into the room and she starts demanding for spirits to talk to her. She's in the room. She's right there. And nothing happens until Annabelle thumps against the glass. So Annabelle, when she thumps against the glass, she makes the mistake of opening it. So while they're out roller skating, right, around the block, she's also supposed to be watching the cake not burn because she's such a great friend. The cake starts to burn. Annabelle is out of the case now. She puts her back in the case but does not lock the door. She runs. She's like, let me get the cake, let me get the cake. Mary and Judy come back and they're like, hey, thought you were watching the cake, boo. Like, what's up? What happened? And they did the Hollywood trick where you can tell that they're suspicious that she was walking around, but there was too much information that Judy was spitting out that it was really evident, like, the girl was in the room. And I get that. They were, like, kind of acknowledging it, but I kind of felt like Judy's character should have acknowledged the fact, like, my parents have, like, 7 bolts on that thing. Even I don't have access to the room. How did you get in? Like, I felt like that's something that they should have, like, I don't know, acknowledged, but it's the only Hollywoody thing that they did. Now, staying focused on the characters. Pertaining to the story, the other most important character is Judy. Judy is going through her own personal tribulations of, I have my mom's gifts. I can see the other world. I can see spirits. I can see demons. I can do these things. But because of how people are responding to her, she's scared of her gifts. And they show you that she has a strong faith, but still scared of her gifts. So when you finally meet Judy, right? The first thing she does is she's going to school and she grabs her cross. She gets to school, she sees a priest. And you start to understand, oh, he's dead. Child is scared. Got it. You also see her reading the papers. You go through her life, current life, in school, because parents are scared of her, her peers are scared of her. They're like, no, death, spirits, occult. Yeah, the power of Christ compels you. That's everyone's reaction to this poor little girl, because now she has to sort of deal with what her mom does for a living and how people are responding to it. Now, that's important because of what Daniella does when she opens up the case and lets Annabelle out, wherever she is. She lets her out. Now this girl has to face her fears, her gifts, and reach acceptance all at the same time. Like, literally all at the same time. So, she doesn't tell anyone about her gifts, and the only person that she's actually close to is Mary, her babysitter, which is my favorite. Mary, to introduce Mary now, is a very dedicated babysitter. She will treat your child like it is her very own. And if I ever get knocked up, and mom, I'm serious, knocked up because I'm never planning on having kids, I'm sorry, you just have to come to accept it. Now, if by every chance I need a babysitter, that is the kind of babysitter I want. I will call the fictional character Mary, because she's absolutely phenomenal. she has a very close bonding relationship with Judy, and you see how much they have a close friendship. She's like a mom to her. You see how close they are. And that is important because Mary wants to do everything she can to make Judy feel better about how society is responding to her. So she wants to do a birthday thing for her. She's like, don't worry, next week when we do your real birthday party, I'm gonna be there. She's doing everything she can to be supportive. So Mary is actually sort of the gatekeeper, or rather the key holder to Judy, the gatekeeper, to get Judy to actually open up about her gifts. And when she finally does tell her this, Mary ends up telling her a very key important line. Well, ghosts were once people, so not all ghosts can be bad. And it's fair. So, with this going on, Daniella has now released Annabelle. And once she releases Annabelle, during the daytime, small things are happening. Little things, like things being moved around. Everywhere Judy goes, she keeps finding Annabelle at different places. Underneath the couch, behind this. It's all random things, right? Now it's time to leave. Bob's got balls. He has a hots for Mary. And he does like this cute thing where he like sings songs. He's trying to pick her up. He has the best How I Met Your Mother story, because as the night is now ending and the supernatural activity is starting to pick up, Bob chooses the wrong time to try to serenade his love of his life, because after he's done singing, he gets chased by a hellhound. So now the supernatural activity just picks up, right? And that's the best part. And he runs, he disappears, the girls can't find him. Daniella's like, all right, it's time for me to go. And Mary's like, you gotta go because we're not supposed to have people here. Right. And Daniella realizes she still has the keys on her. So she's just gonna sneak back into the house like she did the first time. She's gonna put those keys back. And let me tell you, all hell breaks loose. She goes back to put the keys, right? In their room. And all of the things that she should have not touched, like a wedding dress, everything, lets her back into the room. Now when she goes back into the room, now the spirits are really having fun with her. And they silence her screams that no one else can hear in the house, because they're all the way up on the second floor, because the room's in the basement, right? So Mary is getting coined around with. If you see the film, you know who I'm talking about. Because you knew that this particular spirit or demon is actually going to come after you. You knew this already. And Annabelle has basically released her posse on the entire household. That's basically what she did. She was like, alright people, we got some people to hunt, we got some things to do, I got the kid, you get the blonde, you get that one, we're done, we're taking over, we're good. So what makes it so fun is that at this point you sort of really realize how much of a jerk Annabelle is. Maybe it's because I have jerk tendencies, because I'm a really nice person, so when I turn into a jerk, I'm a serious a-hole. However, I need to take some classes from Annabelle. Annabelle, that better be a sign from the spirits I'm getting money. But what ends up happening is Annabelle plays with them in such a messed up way that we're actually gonna go over that next. Now that we've gotten to the meat and the grind of everything, of when the action truly kicks off. The a-holery that Annabelle does is so cold-hearted, right? So one of the demons is actually after Mary. You knew this was coming, right? Because during the whole film, they sort of foreshadow everything. And you come across the ferryman, right? Where you pay your tolls for him to keep your soul. Messed up, right? Like, you pay all that good money, you can't even keep it. But what ends up happening is you know that this is coming. So the first major haunting hits Mary, right? And Mary, she did such a great job at seeing the coins and following, and you can see that the spirit is just toying with her. He's like just throwing coins at her like he's Super Mario, like it's insane, and she's just following the trail, right? So as she's following the trail, she sees the coins in the middle of the air. The actress did such a phenomenal job in that scene of emulating the fear, the natural fear of a person who has never had a supernatural experience, but having a very scary supernatural experience for the very first time in their life and not knowing how to comprehend it, right? She did such a beautiful job showing that fear. And when she finally is done chasing the coins and she like lifts up the flashlight, the coins drop, right? So now she's gonna process this, right? She realizes something's very wrong. Ferryman is out to get her, right? So he goes to grab her. Now you know everything's about to get boogie down. We got Bob, who's got balls, but obviously not balls big enough to actually deal with the hellhound. We got Daniella stuck in the basement chasing after the person that she missed the most, and all kinds of things are going wrong, like a special television set that's showing her future like 10 seconds ahead. So like, you know, that kind of thing will mess with your head, man. That will really mess with your head. So Annabelle's having a field day. And then finally Annabelle is in the bed with Judy. Now here's the messed up part. So Mary actually puts Annabelle in the bed with Judy because when she finds her, she thinks the doll's ugly. She's like, I guess that's a thing. Like, she doesn't question her because she loves this kid. So she wraps the doll up under the bed, under the covers, with Judy. And Judy is knocked out. She's got no clue that the doll is there. Right? Because she's been haunted all night by this doll. And she keeps thinking she's seeing it from places to places. But because she hasn't quite come to accept her gifts, she doesn't know what to think of it. So she's just sort of dismissing it. Now, by this point, she's already spoken to Mary, and she's told her about her gifts, and Mary gives her the optimistic response, and she's like, okay. After Mary gets attacked by the ferryman, that's when, like, you know, got real. And suddenly you see, you go back to Daniella. Daniella's being tormented in the room. Mary's trying to get away from the ferryman. Bob is still stuck, running away from the hellhound. And then finally Judy wakes up, right? She's in bed, and the infamous pull, whack, right? Just whack. She checks the covers. She realizes Annabelle's in the bed with her, right? So the sheets do that creepy thing where they like stand up because the spirit is obviously like right there. And I'm not kidding. No thoughts or no questions asked. Judy just, doll's gotta go, right? So as this is all happening, right, when you're watching the scene of when Judy's getting haunted, it is so messed up because it plays with your mind. I'm not even kidding, because this is all in your bed, and there's nothing scarier than someone being invasive in your bed, in your personal space, because that is your safety blanket, and it is no longer safe, right? So as this is going on, the doll gets tossed to the other side of the room, and then you see they play with the lights, right? So I don't know if any of you guys ever had the old lamps or like a flashlight where you would turn it and it would just change a different color. So her lamp is changing colors. So every time it changed a color, the shadow across the room would get a little bigger. It started off as the little girl and then slowly graduates to the different stages of the demon until it finally gets to the last stage. And at this point, Mary has already ran to go get Judy because she's a good babysitter. And she runs to go get Judy, and she can't open the door. And Judy is now cornered with the strongest demon of the house. Right now, that's going to be scary as hell. Especially because now she has to confront her gifts. She didn't want to, but Daniella felt like apparently it was very important for her to do so. So, as this is all really flaring, kicking off, this is how you know that the movie had so much fun in making it, and then the way how they wanted the audience to have fun, right? Here's where it goes. Judy runs out. Now she's with Mary. They run towards the room to only realize downstairs in the basement of the room that Daniella is not supposed to be a part of, something happens, right? So Daniella's actually unveiled that she probably did more than she was really supposed to. And that's the infamous scene from the trailer that you see where Judy goes, "What did you touch?" And she's like, "I touched everything." And you're like, oh no. So while this entire film is going on, you know that Lorraine and Ed are gone. So you're like, the happy ending is Lorraine comes home and saves her kids. That's what you're anticipating this entire time. And you're scared for Judy. You're sitting looking at her like, oh my god, this poor child, she has this gift and she doesn't even want to deal with it, and yet she's still stuck there. So the scares The absolute scares that they throw at you are all the fact that, one, Annabelle's in the bed with Judy. Then we got Mary being chased by the ferryman, right? Because Annabelle's a jerk, and I'm going to explain why she's a real a-hole. What she does to Mary. You got the other one bugging out because she's watching herself on the TV set, seeing what's going to happen to her in the next 10 seconds, and she's paranoid because one of the monkeys in the background actually falls, right? And she realizes as she watches the TV set that this is all happening within the minute, right? Now, the biggest scare is that after they realize that Daniella has touched everything, Judy realizes, oh, instead of being the scared little girl, they make her the hero. Lorraine's not the hero. I was like, what? How? Like, I was so prepared for Lorraine to be like, da 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 da, and that's not what happened. So this little girl now has to become her own hero and save her babysitter and her dumb friend. So she realizes that she has to go get Annabelle. She's like, we had to put Annabelle back in the case. So, you know, Annabelle is not very fond of this case because it's from a blessed church and it's part of their chapel, and apparently it's the only thing that would seal or contain the evil, rather. And yeah, Annabelle isn't having it. So one of the things that Danielle touches is a bride. She gets possessed. Things really hit the fan. Poor Bob is stuck in a chicken coop. As the hellhound, literally, he's stuck in a coop of chickens because he's scared as the hellhound circles around the chicken coop as a wolf waiting for him. Funniest thing to me in the world. Especially because the chicken leaves the chicken coop at some point, and then he's like, no, 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 and then he realizes he's not gonna get the chicken to come back, and he's like, close, and he just closes the door and stays in there. Best scene ever. One of the other scenes where you can tell that they were having a lot of fun, and this is what I mean by fun, Annabelle having a lot of fun. At some point, to get the doll, they see where the doll is actually hiding, and a hallway is created. Right now, with the ferryman, if you don't know the tale, you have to pay a toll for him to keep your soul. Right? He's a type. In this particular movie, he likes blondes. That's his thing. And mom, look out. So I'm kidding, calm down. But to get the doll, Mary has to walk through a long corridor of all the coffins and corpses with coins on their eyes to go find the doll. That hallway doesn't exist. It just straight up doesn't exist. So she's walking into his world, and she's doing all this to save that little girl. Again, best babysitter ever. She really puts Jamie Lee Curtis to shame. Just saying. So as she's going down this long corridor, you can hear the coins falling because those are the corpses moving, right? Now this girl has to face her fear on a supernatural thing that she's never experienced a day in her life before. Now that she gets down to the very end of the corridor, do you know what she sees? She sees herself. She sees her own self as a corpse with the coins over her eyes, holding onto the doll with the death grip. I'm not even kidding. Could you imagine going down a long corridor, getting to the very end of the hallway, and then you see yourself dead inside of a coffin holding a doll that you know is demonic, that you got to get back into the church? Annabelle, that is a whole other level of a-holery, and I feel like you should just run a school. Like, that was some serious, like, I was sitting there like, that's messed up. Like, like, I didn't even know how to process this. I was like, but you deserve a round of applause. You really do, my friend. Then because that's one of the other major scares. Now the fun scares, personally for me, was actually the initial first scare, which is because of the audience. Lady who was in the theater, I was not laughing at you. We were all laughing at you. So I just want to put that out there. So the first scare is actually when Lorraine's in a car and she's bringing home Annabelle, because they continue it from there. She has a newspaper out. She's reading the map, right? And as she's reading this, the camera's getting closer and closer and closer, right? So this is all she sees. She's reading the map, and then suddenly she's like, okay, I'm gonna take the map down so I can, and then you see the glass, right? So all you see is Lorraine, and the girl in the theater was like, ah! It was so quick, and we all just stopped to acknowledge her. Yeah. Nothing happened. Like, it was a lot of fun because it was cool because I couldn't help myself but to hold Annabelle, and like we all just kind of stared at her in the theater. By the way, all the people were a little nervous that I had this doll. Like, why do you have this doll? Quick note. The doll's from Mesco. It's not the original doll. Please don't send me messages that I'm playing with a demonic doll. I do not do those things on pastime. Side note. But yeah, so that was one of the fun scenes. Now, the other scares that they put in the film, you could tell that the film took itself seriously enough that the scares became intense. You became like emotionally invested and involved, but they also had fun with themselves, and they also laughed at themselves, and that's the best part about the film. So in the movie, you watch from start to finish. I'm not gonna say there's major character development, but there's character comprehension, I would much rather say, because you understand everything, and it's not because you saw Conjuring 1, Conjuring 2, Annabelle. You comprehend the point of everything. You understand why Daniella does the stupid thing that she does. You comprehend Mary as a great babysitter. Her acting was on point. Everyone did a great job, and it's so much fun. The Annabelle Comes Home is my summer horror flick. And if you love horror, I'm telling you, the scares in there are worth it. They're a lot of fun. They're not the campy scares you would normally see, especially after like a couple movies have been coming out. They often tend to get like pretty campy, or it's like boobs, blood, boobs, blood, boobs, blood. It's none of that. They actually take the time to have fun. So yeah, the scares are worth it just because they're fun, and even when you can tell that they're going to happen, you want to see it happen. It's not like, you know it's happening, and for horror film lovers, y'all know what I'm talking about. When you're watching the film, you're like, she's gonna die, he's gonna kill her. And then you see it and you're like, yeah, I saw that coming. It's not even like that at all. You're like, okay, I know he's after this one. I know this demon's doing this to this one. Oh my god, I know this, I know that, I know this, I know that, and you're on to the theory, but you still want to watch it happen. That's the beauty about the Annabelle scares that I personally enjoyed myself. The one thing that I do want to point out about the film, which I probably should not know, given my age, there was like one little thing. The book bags looked extremely modern, and I was just curious because everyone had a book bag, and due for the time error, there should have been a strap, and I only know this because my parents are old. I didn't say that. But I was just baffled that I saw more book bags than what I was anticipating, because they didn't really start to really kick up until like I think the late 60s, mid 70s or whatever, when book bags became really started to pick up and became popular for my era. Because I'm cool like that. Because I'm Chevin, I'm really outrageous. That was the only thing that I did notice. So just letting you guys know, someone noticed. But I'm gonna have to give my overall, like, I mean, how many Cadmas would I give this rating of this film? Okay, I see your point. Okay. So we're good. Okay, we're gonna. Okay, so I'm sorry. We agreed that for people who love horror films, I think Annabelle is definitely a fun horror flick for you. So it's like 5 out of 5 Cadmas. And I'm just saying that because I personally actually do enjoy horror films. Yes, I'm sick and twisted, but I'm so sick and twisted I can't be cured. What? She agrees. High five. If you're someone who isn't heavy into horror films, I'm gonna tell you right now, there's no boobs, there's no crazy blood, there's no gore. It's not a thriller, that I can tell you, because you know thrillers are like, oh no. It's simply a fun horror film, and I think it's absolutely just worth it. Annabelle, did you call my friends? Because I know I heard a bell. But I can say I definitely think you would enjoy this film. I hope I gave you guys like a great, phenomenal review on Annabelle Comes Home, and I think it's an excellent addition to the beauty and franchising of the Warren world. Oh my god, and I think it's a great way to pay homage to them, to what they do, and to just everything, and even just horror film lovers in general. The only one that's a disappointment to the franchise is The Nun. I need to talk to someone about that. Yo, y'all really upset me with that. Like, I didn't do a review on it because I couldn't see anything. Just want to put that out there. Someone needs to say something, okay? When you see a bad film and the filter is too dark, someone needs to speak up. Remember, you see something, say something. But I didn't see anything, so I didn't say anything. Anyways, let's go back to Annabelle. If for those of you who are obviously out checking it out already, tell me, what do you think about it? Do you have any supernatural experiences that you want to talk about? Things that have scared you, things that you thought were supernatural, but perhaps not. I don't care if it's from ghosts to aliens. If you've ever gone to a psychic and felt like the psychic was telling you the truth, maybe you thought she was a sham. Tell me about your supernatural experiences. Tell me what happens when you come home. Girl, you did a great job. Let me tell you, you had people in that theater screaming. It was amazing. You did a really good job, but you're a jerk. Like, like I know people like feel like I'm a jerk when I turn from nice to jerk and they provoke me and I become a jerk. But I feel like in comparison, like, you make me look like a saint. Even my jerk side looks like a saint. Like, I'm so angelic. Thank you for that, Annabelle. But yeah, did you know that all my TikTok fans and a lot of my other fans who do run into me, they're scared to death of you. Like, I can't even have you around. Like, they're like, what? What are you doing with that doll? Because it's okay, so here's a backstory, right? And, hey, I know you've had too much to drink, and you let me wear your hat. I appreciate it, but relax. So here's the thing. My fans don't realize that the actual Annabelle doll is the Raggedy Ann doll. That's right, the plushie doll. The one you're supposed to trust, because she's cuddly and safe. The real one is actually in the Warren Museum. I believe it's in Pennsylvania, inside of her chapel case to contain the evil. So, my doll from Mesco Toys is not the actual Annabelle doll. Y'all like that, right? That was such a great catch. Oh my god! Okay, you can have your hat back, because I don't know if you drank too much or if I did, but it's cool.